Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Formula Forehead Championship. We're here for season 17, of course, at China, round 3 of the championship. You can see the standings up on the screen at the moment, of course. Panda is leading the championship on 37 points from Crossy on 27, Rez is on 26, Jake is on 18, 50 points for Cans, and 12 points for Blah. Of course, I'm not in the championship, so ignore me. Ghost and Otis both had a DNF, and I've also missed a race. So guys, in for an interesting qualifying session here. We're just going to take that down off the screen there now so you can see it all. But at the moment, Black Horse, who's still in that Red Bull as he's getting used to his wheel, is very, very powerful at this moment of time. He's currently P1, of course, but he might be getting nerfed down to a Renault for the coming races. So Black Horse in P1, ahead of Rez, Jake, Panda, Otis, who's already retired, having been around 10 minutes ago. But anyway, guys, we're here for the last 3 minutes of the session. I'm going to bring up everything now. No one looks like they're on an out lap. No one is on a lap except for Rez here. And Gasly is blocking him. Oh, Rez has hit him. This is absolutely insane. And I'm not sure why Rez would even attempt it. Well, what's the point? What's the point of even doing that? I wonder, did he get a penalty for that? He didn't. Nothing at this moment in time, of course, but risky thing to do, especially when you're like fighting for a championship as Rez is. He's going to try and get back to the pit lane now, of course, with only 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in this session. It's all important that you get out there and get a lap in. We're going to have a look now at Cans. Cans is currently on a lap here, so let's see how he does. Cans, of course, who had a good race in Bahrain, but was had a retirement, or just sorry, didn't have a retirement, just finished outside of points in Australia, of course. And he's pulling over to let someone through on the track. Not sure who he's letting through here. Is it Blah? Not sure what Cans is doing here at this moment in time. Let's go find Ghost. This is Ghost on board, of course, at this moment in time. Cans has retired from the session. Not sure why, but Ghost going down the back straight now. Beautiful noise off that Mercedes engine car. Tucks the apex very nicely indeed. It's all about getting on the power. He's slightly hesitant on the throttle there. Not trusting the grip in the Force India. All about breaking on the curb. Brilliant line through here in the last corner. Fantastic on the power. Really, really aggressive on it. Across the line he goes. And that's a very good lap time from Ghost. He's up to P2 at this moment in time. And it was a good lap there from him. And he's going to be very happy with that, of course, at this moment in time. Crossy now. You see on the lap. Starting one right now. We're going to stay on board with the race winner and pole positioner from the last race, Crossy. He misses the apex into turn 1, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, but he's all over the place, still trying to get the front end, then the back end sliding in unison, and he now gets the apex quite nicely tucked in there now for a difficult turn 2 through turn 3. This here, of course, is actually turn 4, this little kink, and turn 5 here now. Down we go, a 24.3. Not sure how that compares to everyone else in the first sector. Crossy now going up the hill here now. It's all about getting it. He's missed the turn-in though on it, and he's had to let go of the throttle slightly because of that. It hasn't been the best lap from Crossy. He could definitely go quicker than this, but it's been at least somewhat smooth. And we're just waiting now to see what laps other people can do. He goes slightly wide there. It's a bit of a scruffy lap already from Crossy, I have to say. Rez has also retired. He doesn't seem to think he can beat that lap time, but Ghost has pulled out an absolute stunner, I have to say. And he's able to do this on some tracks. He's able to put out some really good lap times. Crossy now coming down the back straight. He's missing all the apexes. It hasn't been a very good lap, and he has given up on it. So let's go find someone else. Let's have a look for Jakey. He's about to start the lap. Panda now going through the first corner. Let's stick with Jake actually, because Jake is ahead of Panda and therefore is probably more likely to beat the lap time. Let's see now, on board with Jake. We will keep an eye on Panda's sectors as we go actually. Let's see how Panda does. 24.2 for the first sector. Let's see what Jake does for the first sector now. He's coming out of this corner. He's a bit wide, very wide, but he gets on the power nice and early at least. Let's see how he does now. Compared to Panda in the first sector, 24.3. So Panda looks like he might be the man to beat. Let's see what he does here now in this middle sector. Panda, who took pole and the win, of course, in Australia. Kisses the apex quite nicely. A little bit late in 10th on the throttle. Don't want to get on those curves too much. Panda now going into this 24.2 again in this sector. Not sure how that compares against the best, but I imagine he will be somewhat up on his time. He wouldn't be going. Ghost gets out of the way very fairly indeed for Panda. Panda now coming around this difficult long corner. He stays on the throttle really hard. It does compromise his line slightly, but he is on it. Let's see how Panda does now. Down the back straight he goes. It's all about shifting up, and he doesn't shift up there for the longest period of time. Beautiful little bit of break in there from Panda. He kisses the apex very nicely on the power straight away, very hard on the power. It's all about this last corner. Can he do it? He said he's been struggling all weekend with this corner. He gets in beautifully this time. It's all about the power. Straight across the finish line, and he doesn't do it. He gets second though. Let's see what Jake can do. Jake is on the lap now. Panda displaces Ghost. Jake not looking the best. He's very tentative through there. Not the best line through here, but Jake will do enough for P4, and he displaces Rez at this moment in time. Crossy, we'll see if this guy's on the lap. He is coming through the last corner now. Crossy, he has taken P2. Oh, that's a fantastic lap from Crossy to displace everyone. What a brilliant lap time. But Blah is your pole sitter, of course, in the Red Bull, and that was a special lap from Blah there in the Red Bull. We're just waiting now on Otis, of course, to ready up. He is a bit slow. And it's a great lap, of course, from Blah in the end. Take that pole position. And he will be very, very happy with that. But, of course, the problem for Blah is now he probably will be getting nerfed slightly going into Baku. We will see. We will have a look at it. And we will come back to you in relation to that. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much been it now. We're going now into the race, of course. Let's see how this shakes out. We have Blah and pole, Crossy in second. Third, of course, is Panda, I believe. Fourth. Ooh. Let's see how we do now. Third, of course, I think is Panda. Fourth was Ghost. Fifth was Jake, I believe. And we'll have to see the rest. I think sixth was Rez, and so on. So let's see how they do now. We're just waiting on a couple of them to get their starts ready. And we will give you the time until the lights out. Crossy's readied up. As you can see, Rez is also readied up. We're waiting on 3 Panda. 2 left, Otis and Ghost. Otis is notorious for leaving it until the last possible second, of course, as usual. Let's see how they do. Here we go. 5 lights, look, but never stare. And it's lights out and away we go, and Crossy gets an absolutely fantastic start, and he's already into P1. Panda is absolutely he's been caught by Jake going into that corner. Jake now up to P3. Jake's going to think about the inside line of Blah. Ghost has to get out of it slightly there through that corner, but Crossy is the one who leads into the first corner. Blah and Panda sends it back up the inside of Ghost. He gives him a little bit of contact, a little bit too hesitant, but Ghost didn't leave enough room there to be fair on the first corner. Ghost and Panda now fighting going down into this. Jake is going to think about the move on Blah. He doesn't think so. Panda though almost goes for it, and it's Otis on the inside of Cans there with a fantastic move, and Cans has been found out there. But a lot of a concertina effect there now, and already it has been a great start to this race. Ghost now trailing a bit behind Jake, but it's Jake, it's Blah, Crossy from Blah, from Jake, from Ghost. We're just going to take a quick break here now for a second just to check what's going on. Yes, okay, perfect indeed. So, guys, a great start to the race, and of course Crossy's starts once again paying dividends for him. Coming down now, the big long kilometre back straight. Crossy leads Blaz very wide through there. As you can see, Ghost a little bit behind Jake now at this stage, but Rez is all over the back of Panda at this moment in time. Let's bring up the tyres for you so everyone can see what's going on here at this moment in time. But you can see the gap to the leader, of course. Blaz all over the back of Crossy. He thinks about the move, but Crossy, oh, very close there. Blaz thinking about the move on Crossy. He's got so much pace in that Red Bull at this moment in time. For those of you who don't know, of course, it is realistic cars, so of course Crossy is considered as being the quickest driver out there. That's why he's in the McLaren. But of course you've got Crossy P1, Blah P2, Jake P3, Ghost is P4, 5 is Panda, 6 is Rez, Otis is 7th, and Cans is all the way down. He's obviously had an incident of some sort. I'm not sure what's happened to lovely Cans. He may be missing a part of his wing. He's in the pits now, and he's going to have to go to the end on probably the soft tyres, you'd imagine. It's hardly going to be the mediums. Let's see what they put on here now at the Haas pit crew. And it's going to be the white marked medium tyres to go all the way to the end. It's going to be a struggle to get through to the end with pace on those tyres. But Crossy pulling away from Blah already at this stage. He's done a fantastic job. Blah now on board with him as we see him trying to fight and hunt down Crossy. Struggling a little bit there for the turn in of the front end. Crossy now pulling away from the pack in that McLaren. Jake in the forcing in now, just thinking about the back straight, of course, probably thinking about saving his ERS. He's got a lot more than the two guys ahead of him at this moment in time, and so does Ghost. So the boys are trying to obviously spread the field a little bit. It's going to be all about when you jump onto the softs, because the ultras die very quickly around here. The gap, of course, has stabilised pretty much all across the field there now. There's a bit of a gap between everyone. Rez, Panda, Ghost, and Ghost is a little bit back. He's got Bottas on his tail. It's Blah now. Oh, Blah almost steps up the throttle too hard on the exit. That's giving away a load of time, and Jake's already all over the back of him here. Jake now within 1 second of Blah as they come across the finish line here to start lap number 3. And Crossy will be delighted to see Blah getting all out of it, all over shape there, coming out of that corner. As they come in here now, we're going to follow Jake on board. He's within 6/10 of Blah, but of course the Red Bull has the grip, has the punch through these corners, and Jake now beautifully smooth through here as well, considering he's on controller compared to the two guys ahead of him on the wheel. Gets on the power nice and early through here. It's all about that drive coming out of this corner into the very, very tricky braking zone, I would actually say, of this corner down here. It's a downhill corner. Go a little bit too far, you miss the apex. Brake too early, you end up going all over the apex, and it ruins your exit. It's all about getting the compromise line through there. Well, now, of course, we're going to expect to see him extending the gap through this middle sector. Blah's given a lot of ERS at this moment in time compared to, say, guys around him. Ghost in his as well, but Panda is all over the back of Ghost as well, and in fact Panda is actually much closer to Ghost than the rest are to each other. Panda now extending the track there ever so slightly. It's going to be all about the DRS down the back straight, and you can see the ERS, the energy deployment or energy recovery system, is very close with him. But Panda, maybe that was deliberate to get that turn in on there, but he's on the curb, which is going to compromise his line through here, and Ghost has got a better line, but Ghost is struggling, going out very wide. And now it's all about the DRS as we go down the back straight here. Rez is as close to Panda as Panda is to Ghost. It's going to be all about the straight line speed. Panda is not shifting up quick enough, I would say there. He's losing out on some time, and he tries to fake a move to the inside there of Ghost, but he's not quite close enough. Ghost wide on the exit though, and you have to say everyone is starting to struggle a little bit here. Jake, of course, is good enough to keep up with the boys, but Blah and Crossy are in the pits already. So too is Ghost, so too is Panda, so too is Rez and Otis as well. Jake has continued for a lap. This could be a brilliant strategic move by Jake here to keep going for another lap. We'll see how he goes here on this. We're going to follow Jake on board, but now, right now in the pits, of course, we've got Crossy from Blah, Ghost, Rez. They're all in the pit lane. There's a huge amount of them. Someone's definitely going to get held. I wonder who's going to get held here. Crossy's already out, of course, at this moment in time. Blah's out as well, and I think Panda has gotten out ahead. Oh, Rez has gotten Ghost. Ghost has actually has been gotten by both the boys there, and he's going to be fuming because I believe his car actually got ghosted through there because of the pit lane release. He was slightly slower on that release there now. The Panda is all behind this load of traffic here. Stroll, Van Dorn, and look at this. Panda loses a bit of his front wing there, I believe he did, and that's just really, really immature, I would say, inexperienced driving there from Panda in regard to that. Crossy's played a blinder here though. He's got loads of clear track ahead of him. We're going to keep an eye on the gap between him and Jake. It's 18.4 right now, 18.3. If he stays around that kind of gap course, Jake will come out behind Crossy. But importantly for Jake, maybe he will have one lap fresher tyres. But Crossy is giving it everything now. He's bringing it down to 18.1, 18.2. Crossy's in high ERS, of course. He's trying to get that gap down as much as he can. Let's see what he can do though on these tyres. He struggled a little bit in Bahrain on the colder soft tyres. He's all about getting in, but he's gone very wide there. This is going to be, oh, he's so lucky to get away with that. Normally when you get out that far on the curb there, you struggle to get it back in. Crossy, of course, is doing a decent job there in terms of that. Vettel and Verstappen and all the boys here ahead of him are having a big battle. But Jake enters the pit lane now for what will be his one and only pit stop, of course, in the 25% race. And Jake gets it down to the speed limit. Rez has retired from the session. I don't believe it. I'm not sure what has happened. And something has obviously happened back there with Rez and them. But yeah, absolutely. Rez is out of this race. And Jake is in the pit lane right now. Crossy is coming down the start-finish straight. He's going to get Jake, and now it's going to be a battle of whether Blah will be behind Jake as well. And I think Jake has gotten Blah. He has indeed. I'm almost certain of it. Let's see. Jake and Blah, and Jake has gotten him comfortably, and in fact Jake has jumped Blah, and now he is behind Crossy. 4 seconds behind him though. Crossy surely has this in the bag. Board now with Jake as he tries to get down these guys. For Crossy though, it's all about trying to dispatch these guys as quickly as he can, but also making sure he doesn't lose his wing unnecessarily. He's going to think about going around the outside of Leclerc here. Surely he's going to send it up the inside maybe. No, he doesn't. He's a bit slow. He's taking his time here, and this is going to allow Jake to slightly catch back up on him. He might send it down the inside into here, though, but with the DRS zone, surely he will want that instead. Crossy, though, again, he stays behind him. He's a little bit slow, Leclerc. Crossy now is all over the back of him through here. Crossy's going to try and go for the exit, and he does get the exit on him, and he gets such good launch out of there that the wheel users obviously get, and Crossy did get it through there. So, yeah, Jake now, of course, he is about 4 seconds back behind Crossy. He's on 1 lap, fresher tyres. And that will see him through to the end of the race. Panda really struggling with the front end there. I'm pretty sure he has damage at this moment in time. Ghost is behind Otis, so something has happened to Ghost. Cans has actually passed Ghost through there, so Ghost has obviously got some sort of problem. And Cans now is setting after Otis, who is in turn setting after both Gasly and Bottas here. Otis now thinking about the move down the inside. Of course, he's yet to score points this season. Otis sends it down the inside, and it's an easy move in the end there for Otis. Leclerc continues on with a lap, and this will be something that Crossy would be happy to see, because Jake, of course, is still a threat, I would say, in this race. He's not too far back. Let's see how he does. Blah now 5 seconds behind, probably done that he won't finish up that high. Panda also too far back. But Otis now behind, or he's actually ahead of, no, he's behind Max Verstappen, ahead of Bottas, as Cans starts to close in on these guys as well. Ghost has had to pit once again, and he's gone onto the soft tyres, so something has happened between Ghost and someone else there. That is why he is so far down the order. He's had a dreadful start to the season in terms of his racing, and he's probably kicking himself that he's had obviously so many mistakes this season already. So not a good start to the season for Ghost. Rez has had another difficult race compared to, let's say, other ones. Australia was a difficult one as well. He should have finished up higher there as well. So Otis now, will Otis score points in this race and resign Ghost to being the only one who has yet to score points this season? Otis all over the shot through there, and he's a bit aggressive through there, I have to say. Jake now, of course, is going to get Leclerc here. He'll open up the DRS right now, and straight away, look at the power he powers away at him from, and that's absolutely insane. Needs to be careful over with Leclerc. Oh, Blah, what is Blah doing? That is absolutely outrageous there from Blah, and that could be very questionable. We're going to have to maybe clip that one. Blah, he turns over on Leclerc, and very questionable there from Blah, has to be said, as he's catching up to Jake now, as Blah is picking up the pace. And then now, of course, in 5th place. He knows the championship is still on. You need to bring home these points in this situation. He will be promoted to 4th now. It's another 12 points. Crossy will be taking 13 out of him today. It's all about bringing home these points when a championship is this important. Cans, of course, doing a decent job down in 10th place, but he knows again that he's letting the championship slip away here, as Crossy looks like he's likely to pick up another big 25 points here. Jake knows as well, of course, 18 points are valuable. That's what you need to do when you're fighting for a championship. We are, of course, only on lap 7 of this race, so we're not even halfway through yet. We'll be halfway through at the end of this lap. So, an interesting race so far. Let's give you a rundown, guys, of what has happened, of course, in this race so far. So, we have had, of course, Crossy wasn't on pole, Blah was on pole, of course, struggled to get away from the start. So too the Panda and Ghost, and Blah and Jacob, both Panda and Ghost, I think it was off the start. Crossy, of course, also got Blah off the start as well with a fantastic one of his super launches, as he normally does. And he's starting to really put the car into gear now at this moment in time as he pulls away from them. Blah now, though, behind Jake. What is Blah going to do here? Blah thinks about moving, but Jake, Blah has to leave him a car's width there, but he turns in a little bit early, but Jake, he's going to get the exit up. Oh, Blah doesn't leave him space, and Blah spins it on the curb. And you have to say Blah was too aggressive on the acceleration there, 100% his fault. Jake left him more than enough room out there, and now Blah is in trouble. Is he going to continue, or is he going to go straight into the pit lane? He's gone into the pit lane, and that is going to promote Panda to 3rd. And even when he's having these off days, Panda is looking into these 3rd positions. He's doing a good job, you have to say. And Jake, now that he's free of Blah, he can focus on maybe trying to set after Crossy, or at least bring home those 18 points. Blah, of course, I imagine will have gone on to the ultra soft, super soft. What has Blah gone on to? Let's just check here now. Blah has actually gone into ultra soft tyres for 7 laps. He's obviously thinking about the fastest lap of the Grand Prix to get those 2 extra points that he got for a pole position as well. But we'll see. He might have a tough though with all this traffic he has, but he's going to be so much quicker than the guys on softs. Otis now is having a great race. He's up to 5th place, and Kansas is up to 8th. And Kansas, of course, has a good chance of catching those guys ahead of him. Jake now keeping the gap at that 3.7 second mark against Crossy, and of course 15.9. And Vettel is actually catching Panda at this moment in time. It's pretty much a yo-yo between Jake and Crossy at the front of this race, but of course we've had some casualties. We have Rez, of course, we missed the incident between him and whoever else. The incident was between Ghost, has obviously had a bit of trouble as well in this race, and he's in 15th at this moment in time as well. Blah, of course, down in 12th position as well, had this incident there with Jake where he got just a bit too hot on the power, and that was it. And yeah, that's pretty much been it, guys. Panda, of course, now just trying to keep that gap. Jake's position, I have to say, against Crossy has stayed pretty much consistent throughout. 3.7, 3.6, it's in around that 4 second mark, depending on how they're doing every lap, but it's kind of yo-yoing between the two of them, and that's a sign of a great battle for the rest of the season. Held out. Jake loses out on the exit of that corner slightly by being a little bit hesitant, but that's what the wheel can give you. The wheel can give you that extra bit of turn in, that extra bit in the front ding grip initially. That's what he does there in that regard. Like now 3.8 behind. Let's see what the gap is like at the end of this lap. We'll get a better picture of it. Crossy, of course, is prone to binning it. Jake is a bit more, I would say, consistent at bringing home these positions because he doesn't push quite, I would say, as hard in a race situation. In terms of fastest laps, guys, we're going to have a quick look through it now. At this moment in time, Crossy, of course, fastest, 34.5. Blah is the next quickest on a 35.1. So let's see what Blah can do at the end of this lap, of course, once he completes his lap. Cross's lap, of course, being significantly quicker than everyone else's. And this is how he's brought the gap up to that amount there. Blah behind Brendan Hartley. He's going to have to get the move done through here. It's very tentative through there. He goes around the outside. It's a brilliant move from Blah. Around the outside of Hartley. So much more grip. It's so simple. It's all about the turning there now from Blah as well. Gap to leader 4.3 seconds. Jake is probably giving up the ghost here in this fight. Panda is under huge pressure from Sebastian Vettel. Otis has obviously had an incident of sort because Otis is now down in 8th place. This is why this man is always in the Ferrari, of course, because he just isn't able to keep it on the track. It's a very dodgy race, we have to say. But he is, of course, our Otis. He's under pressure, though, I would say, soon enough, Otis. From Leclerc, maybe. No, Leclerc isn't really in danger zone, I would say. Otis should be fine, but Kansas on 8 lap old mediums, Otis on 6 lap old softs. Should be a done deal, you would say. Let's keep an eye now on Sebastian Vettel as he stays behind Panda to see exactly what Panda is doing through his motors. Vettel has significantly less ERS deployment left than Panda, so you would think that Panda should be able to defend from him reasonably well, especially considering that the car has the same engine as the Ferrari behind him. So let's see what Panda can do now. He's looking very tentative through a lot of these corners, the front end. I think he may have broken his wing earlier on the rest when he slapped into the back of Stroll, and he wasn't being aware enough of coming out of the pit lane. And look at this, Vettel's all over the back of him. Vettel's going to go for the move here. Sebastian Vettel, he's going to try it around the outside. It's a fantastic move from Vettel. Vettel has absolutely done Panda through here, and that is absolutely stunning move from Vettel. Panda, I think, may have hit him there slightly because we're watching now on board here. Panda now needs to be so careful. He needs to be thinking about the championship as well. If he wants to win this championship, he needs to be thinking about that at all the times. But it looks like he will get Vettel thanks to the DRS. And obviously Vettel and Panda has got way more ERS employment than Sebastian Vettel does. Vettel now breaking down into here. It's all about the turn in. You can see that Vettel struggles to the turning compared to Panda. Kans now has done a fantastic job, of course. He's just gotten by Valtteri Bottas, I believe, here now. He's done a really good job. He's up in 6th place after his first lap incident. This is what you need to be doing to win a championship. Crossy's obviously had an incident because Jake's brought them the gap to 2.4 seconds. So Crossy is after having some sort of incident here. Other mentions, of course, Blah, of course, he's now in the top 10. I'll be interested to see if he can set the fastest lap of the race, because if he doesn't, considering he's gone on ultras, it's not really been a good enough race, has it? But I don't think he will. He hasn't set the fastest lap of the race. It's not been good enough really for Blah at this moment in time. He's going to have to up it there. But Crossy's obviously struggling, or something's happening with him, because I'm not really sure what's happening here. He's got a lot more ERS than Jake does. He's obviously been saving it a lot. Maybe that's where he's been losing time. But He's got older tyres than Jake, so he needs to be a bit more careful, needs to show a bit more respect to him. And of course, Panda now has seen off the threat, I would say, of Sebastian Vettel for the most part. Through here, though, Vettel is supremely good. Cans, I think, sniffs a chance at that third position. And they're getting all over that curb. He has to lift to get out of it, and that's going to put Vettel all over the back of him, and that's the problem when you get on that curb. And that's why I was saying, I think it was Crossy did his lap earlier on the race, or during qualifying, I have no idea how he managed to get it back on the track. Maybe that's a wheel technique you do. Panda, also on wheel, does not know that technique. And he defends the inside for all it's worth. And he moves across on braking, which is a very questionable move, I would say. It's not something that you should be doing. But then again, he's doing it against the AI, so no one's going to really call him out on it. Otis now all over the back of Cans here. He's going to be fighting for this position. A lot of movements here in the wheel that's causing Otis to miss the apex. Not really great smart racing here. He needs to think about what he's doing. Bolano, of course, he's probably resigned here to 9th place and only 2 championship points. Jake. About to move through here now. You have to say Crossy has driven supremely well for the most part here today. He's trying to bring it home. He's saving the RS though, as you can see here. He's got way too much of it, in fact. He should be using a bit more than what he's doing because it's hurting his lap time, I would say. Beautiful engine noise off that McLaren and Honda. Maybe he might need to be nerfed as well. The gap has come down between him and Jake because of that, of course, but not really showing a lot of respect there, saving up his ERS, and he's going to obviously put it up to 5 now for the next 2 laps to Bolt. There you go. Vettel though, all over the back here. Cans. He's going to be thinking about Otis, and Otis doesn't go for the move. Otis, of course, knows what Cans is like in wheel-to-wheel racing. You don't want to go for the move on Cans. I think Verstappen got Cans. I'm not sure, I can't remember if he's ahead of him or not, but Cans now with 2 laps to go here. He needs to get this move done on Verstappen. Put a bit of daylight between him and Otis. That's what you want to do if you're Cans here. Lanau is all about bringing home those points. In fact, there's a yellow flag somewhere on track. Marcus Ericsson has actually retired from the race. So only 1.5 laps left in this race. You see Panda now struggling to keep that front end of the car, getting into the corners where he wants it. What he doesn't know is Vettel has been saving up his ERS slightly, and Vettel will be a challenge for Panda for the rest of this race. Let's just have a quick check to see who has got any penalties after Panda's extreme interesting corner cut there, I would say. Not one person has a penalty yet, of course, which is always very good to see. And then now, it's all about the defensive, and he pulls, he makes his intention very clear here to Vettel. Excuse me. Cans has already gotten Verstappen. Knows he can't get Vettel now, and I think he knows it's just all about keeping Verstappen behind him so that he can keep that 5th place for the rest of this race. It's the last lap of the race, of course. It looks like it's going to be a convincing win for Crossy, but he will probably get nerfed after this race. He's far too quick in that McLaren for anyone to even keep up with. We'll have to see. So, here we go now. Jake, of course, going to bring home those points. Panda, of course, doesn't quite have Vettel covered yet. He's got a lot more ERS. He needs to start using it now. He's on 41%, I would say. And he should really be looking to use it, I would say, as well. Everyone, of course, pretty low on fuel out of all the human players left in this race. Ghost is in 12th at the moment, and he's not going to get top 10. It's been a very disappointing race for him after his good qualifying position. Crossy is going to be the one to cross the line. Round the final corner now, he is looking to go here to take the checkered flag and to signify that he is in this championship to win it. He almost bins it, of course. He needs to be very careful there. And it's a win for Crossy. He takes it from Jake. Panda is looking to defend now from Vettel here. And he knows he has it done. And that's been a great drive from Panda. He just bring it home now. 2 corners to go. He can still bin it around here. It's still very easy to him. We've seen Bob Bennett here in the hairpins exit as well. Otis has actually gotten Max Verstappen. And he's done a good job to bring home those points there. It's going to be Crossy first, Jake second, Panda is third, Vettel fourth, Cans fifth. Otis is going to be in 6th position with no penalties. Verstappen 7th, Bottas 8th, Blah is going to come home in P9, and Leclerc 10th, Ghost is down to 12th, with Rez not finishing this race. So that's been this race for you, an interesting result in the end. Wait now for Ghost to cross the line, of course. And an interesting line there from Ghost as he crosses the finish line. Congratulations to our top 3. Who will be doing interviews there now with shortly. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a woman? If that's Blah. So let's take a screenshot of these results, of course, so we can record them for the championship. Crossy, of course, taking pole, fastest lap and race win, not the pole position, of course, there. And yeah, very good performance there from him as well. So yeah, an interesting result there, boys. And let's drag in the top 3 here now. So here are your top 3 boys from the race. Crossy, firstly, you are being nerfed, just to let you know. Yeah, you're going now to Toro Rosso, like we discussed, if it happened within the first 3 races. But let's leave that alone for a moment, all right? A very dominant win, I have to say. You were all over. You had that race in complete control. You were in none. You let Jake catch up to you. A dominant race. You were the only one to get into the 134s, and easily at that.
Try hard.
It's only a Toro Rosso, Crossy. There's not much of a difference between that and a Blah. But firstly, Crossy, how do you think today's race went? Your start again gets you to win, pretty much, doesn't it?
Oh, pretty much. Blah had a bad start. I went to the first corner and overtook him there, and then it was just cruising just to try and keep my position. And then the pits came. I pitted early because I actually, on my qualifying lap, I did 2 laps on my qualifying tyre, so I had to pit early, 1 lap. But I knew the undercut was very strong on this track, so I knew as soon as I went in early, it was just complete control there. And I knew Blah got held up as well for a couple of seconds in the pits, so that helped me out quite a bit.
Yes, that must have been good for you, of course, there as well. So that's good to know. And I guess, did you ever feel like there was a threat from behind? Watching your pace, it felt like you had a completely under control.
Only in the last few laps. I know Jakey pitted a lap later than me. That was my only worry, really. And then
you obviously did a cheeky thing and threw it down into none ERS for like 4 laps and then you crash back up.
Yeah, I think for 3 laps I just threw it into none because I knew I had the time. And I think I started to notice he was catching up like 2 seconds a lap then. And then I just put it into the last 2 laps. I just put it into hot lap and that was done from there.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Jake, coming to you. Look, solid race, bringing home the points. Anything else you could have done today?
Nah, but Blah hit me. So
he did hit you. He
don't know how I feel about that.
He lost the back end. It wasn't your fault anyway. We were watching it live at the moment in time. But happy with 18 or disappointed to miss out again?
No, I think Crossy was too quick again. So yeah, 18 was probably the best they could have got.
Delighted to hear he's getting nerfed slightly.
Yeah, beautiful. You're kidding me.
Panda, move on to you. You made contact with the Williams, I saw. Stroll.
Oh,
lost a bit of your front wing. Very naive and inexperienced move, I would say, personally.
I didn't know it wasn't even a move. I didn't expect them like. So there was like a car in front of him who hadn't pitted yet, and his tires were worn that he couldn't get good exit. So they all brake checked, each and every one of us, and I just didn't expect them. And I lost my wing.
Yeah.
And for somehow, since since I have the Haas Ferrari engine, I kept Vettel behind me for like the whole race.
Yeah, that was a really good battle you had. He obviously got you actually one corner, the corner before the long back straight. He made a brilliant move on you, made you.
He was the close. That was the closest he was ever. So I wanted to try and let him by, but not fight. Not like fight really hard, but not let him by. So I let him make a move, and I got DRS and just whizzed by.
You have to say, bringing home the points so important when you're in a championship battle. Perfect, Crossy. Last word to you. The forecast for Baku is lots and lots of rain. What are your feelings about that?
Oh, I'm awful at rain. That's probably the worst weather I hate, and because I'm just so bad at it. I'm gonna spin so much.
Apparently, Little Birdie has told me there's going to be a lot of heavy rain in Baku, not just light rain.
Wait, I'm
You're such a dickhead, you know that.
I'm getting nerfed and having rain. Oh, great.
Well, Blah's getting nerfed as well, so don't worry about it. He's going down to a Renault,
okay.
so that'll stop him taking pole by like 3/10. But your lap in quali was actually mega. I saw it as well. But boys, thanks very much. I'll drop you back into F1, and we'll see you next time. Get the fuck out. Right, guys, that's been it. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time for Baku.